It was a big surprise, and we kind of just picked whoever we could for a doctor. We didn't really think about it. And then at 36 weeks, I went in with a really bad headache and spotty, blurry vision, and they said I had preeclampsia, so they induced me. She didn't want to come. It was a long, drawn-out 36-hour labor, and I really wanted to do it naturally, but the last 45 minutes, I was like, okay, I can't do it another minute. I was 35 hours into it. So I asked for an epidural at that point, and she came right away, and she was a tiny little thing, and she was in the NICU for 9 days, and they bossed me around and were big bullies to me because I was a first-time mom and I had no idea what I was doing. So that was a really traumatizing experience. So with my second, I decided that I would be really informed. And so that's when we went looking for a natural birth center. Our whole pregnancy was just wonderful. I went to 41 weeks and a day. Was it a day?
Something like that.
Something that I never thought I would do. I went 5 weeks past my daughter's, how long I carried her. The birth was just easy and flawless. I woke up middle of the night one night and had some contractions and went to the bathroom, and Mike woke up and heard me whining. And he's like, should I call? Should I not? And I'm like, I don't know, let's just wait and see. And eventually we came in. And from the time that I woke up to the time that he was born, it was 4 hours, and it was really quick, but very intense. Comfortable and loved and cared for, and it was a very gentle, beautiful water birth. Nothing really went wrong. It was very wonderful. When my son was born, I got to pull him up out of the water and hold him, and he didn't leave my chest for probably 2.5 hours. You know, they really just asked me when I was ready to move to the bed out of the water, and when I was ready for them to do the tests on him to see how he was doing.
She said from the first birth, it was night and day. It was really difficult being bossed around and not really knowing the options you had and the right decision to make. You just kind of go on the fly off your gut. And first of all, with my daughter, I had a better bond to her, which is wrong, right at first. And the first bond with her, really, I mean, they put her on not even skin to skin, just on top of the blankets and stuff. She was, her gown and everything for maybe, I don't know, it seemed like a minute, just to take pictures. Hey, here's your baby girl, gone. She's turning blue, gone to the NICU. And I was the one that followed her to the NICU. I was able to go in and watch them hook her up to the tubes and everything. And I think that she could feel me there. And there was a spiritual bond there. And we've always been closer than Bryton has been to Maylee, at least to this day. And then with my son,
I wouldn't put him down. I'm not sharing.
No, she did share though. That's what I'm going to. She obviously got the boy. She got to hold our boy first, and that was important, for that instant bond. We knew that was important from our experience with our daughter. But the cool thing as a dad was I got to hold him next. After she'd had her time, she said, do you want to hold him too? And so I said, yeah. And we both have bonded with him, and he feels bonded to both of us.
So my relationship with my daughter, it's not any less than my relationship with my son, but it has taken a lot more work because we didn't have good feelings from the beginning, and we didn't have the time to bond in the beginning, and it's taken a lot more work to build a strong relationship with her, whereas coming from a peaceful birth, it was very natural to just keep my son with me and bond with him and do what mothers' instincts want to do and take care of them. And just instantly I was in the mother role with him, and with her I was like, oh, can't somebody keep telling me what to do, because that's all that I know. Everybody's been telling me what to do up to this point. When I look back at each of my births, they're like polar opposite end of the spectrum. With my daughters, I was actually really scared to have another kid because I had so much fear that came from that delivery, and she was ripped out of my arms right away and taken to the NICU, and sorry, I'm gonna get emotional. I felt like I was always on the defense. Like everybody was always attacking me and telling me that I had to be a certain way to be a good mother, and that they knew best. And, you know, just, I kind of resent that experience, and I don't like saying that, but it fills me with a lot of sadness and anger and a lot of fear. And thinking back on my son's birth, it makes me so happy. I can't even put it into words, but there's so much joy that I feel when I think about it and when I look back on the pictures, and I'm always just so grateful of the angels that took care of me, because I call all of my midwives doula angels, because they were there through such a sacred time and such a special moment for me, and they really just held that space for me where they didn't allow that feeling to come in. They really just made me feel comfortable and loved, and just so much peace that I felt during that birth, and I just knew that it would be beautiful in the end, and it was. It was a beautiful experience, and I love thinking about it, and I was just glowing for weeks after that, which after my daughter, I was like, I have to nurse a baby, I have to recover.
She was pretty miserable.
I was. But after my son, we skipped out of the birth center, and I was like, let's go be a family. I was just so happy and giddy because it was just such a beautiful experience, and it was so different than, it was everything that I ever hoped that a birth would be times a million.